How much should you pay yourself? When should you pay yourself? Of all the topics we're going to talk about today, this is probably the most subjective. And the reason for that is because it underlines one key concept that is 100% personal, which is risk tolerance, which is how much risk are you willing to take individually? One of the regrets that I have earlier on as I continued to double down on my gym chain was that I took all the profit from each gym and I kept putting it into the next gym, and I basically took nothing out for the entire time. Now, that's super risky. I was living on nothing, living cheap, I was eating cheap, I had a cash car that I owned outright, and I just put everything I had, spent every hour of my day growing my business. Eventually though, I ended up losing all the money from selling all my gyms and was left with nothing. And if I had taken out some cash during that period of time, I would have had two benefits. Benefit number one is that when you really try and take out cash flow from the business, you'd be amazed at how much cash flow just magically appears. And so I like having bank account PRs be a good personal goal for every entrepreneur. Even if the increment that you're increasing is small, it does two things. One, it forces you to take cash out of the business. So it forces cash flow. The second is that it forces you to decrease your spending personally. And I have a strong belief that as you're coming up, learning the discipline to spend less, if you increase the cash flow that you take out of the business and you spend less over time, then your bank account has nowhere to go but up. And I can promise you that when you have a very full bank account, business decisions become less stressful. And when you make less stressed decisions, you make better decisions. I do believe in taking some money out of the business along the way, because let's be real, you're going to live a long life and then you're going to die. And if you double down every single minute until the day that you died, you'd build the most enterprise value, but you'd live a really shitty life. So at some point, you have to balance the investment versus consumption of life itself, or the fruit of your labor. That is why I'm a believer in at least allocating a certain percentage of the cash flow from the business to you personally. A healthy way of thinking about this that we have for some of our heavy capital intensive businesses, meaning like brick and mortar chains, which is one of the biggest parts of our portfolio,